Question 42. All right. Burke's attitude towards the quote-unquote gentleman of France, in lines 76 to 77, would best be described as blank. All right, so this is an analyzing point of view question, and usually we can get pretty far with these if we can identify whether the attitude of the person towards the thing in question is positive, negative, or neutral. Let's see if we can do that here. So first I'm going to rephrase the question. I'm going to say it in my own words to help me get control of it, and then I'll read around the line reference provided and make a prediction. So I'm just going to rewrite it as, what is Burke's POV, what is his point of view about the gentleman of France? Let's bring up the passage and find that line reference. I'm going to start at the beginning of the sentence here in line 75. Not being illuminated with the light of which the gentlemen of France tell us they have got so abundant a share, they, and here he's talking about Britain's forefathers, right? That's the they. Not being illuminated with the light of which the gentlemen of France tell us they have got so abundant a share, they acted under a strong impression of the ignorance and fallibility of mankind. He's comparing Britain's forefathers to the leaders of the National Assembly in France. So he's saying that, unlike the French, the British Constitution is designed to accommodate people being ignorant and fallible, that they're dumb and they mess up. And throughout the text, we know that he likes that better than how the French are doing. But he's saying that the French are illuminated with light. So how does Burke actually feel about the French? Okay, so this may be hard to see, but I mentioned this in the active reading video. I'm detecting a strong note of sarcasm here. What? I hear you say? Sarcasm? Were people really sarcastic back in the day? To which I say, yes, indeed. This is one of the biggest pieces of advice I want to offer here. Always be ready for the possibility that you're reading something that is meant to be funny or sarcastic. This is true of literature passages especially, but also with these history passages. So that analysis is informed by what I remember from the whole passage, but there are also a couple of clues here. I remember that Burke is basically criticizing the French throughout this whole paragraph. He's saying throughout this last big fat paragraph that he thinks the English need to look to their own marvelous constitution, right, which he calls an invaluable treasure, and fix it up if they're having a problem, instead of being inspired by what the French are doing and chucking it out and starting all over again. He's been saying that the National Assembly's errors are fundamental, right? That's the end of the previous paragraph. It's right there. So he doesn't have a positive view of what's happening in France. But all I really need to pull from all of that is positive, negative, neutral. And I feel very confident that I can take negative back to the choices. So that's my prediction. We're looking for something that expresses Burke's negative opinion of the gentlemen of France. So which of these is the most negative? I mean, scornful, right off the bat, that's very negative. Sympathetic is positive, so no. Envious has a negative connotation, but Burke is the opposite of envious. He's saying to his English countrymen, please don't try to do what France is trying to do. So I'm going to cross that off as well. And D, apprehensive, basically means worried about the future. It's a negative word, right? But Burke might be worried for them. I guess it's a bit of a stretch. I think he's projecting more worry that his English friends will admire what's happening in France. So I'm going to cross off D and choose A. The thing that allowed me to do this difficult question quickly was that reading step. I have a sense of how Burke is feeling throughout the passage because I made a point to note down all the positive and negative feelings he expressed with pluses and minuses. The pre-work that you do before you get to the questions is going to save you time and effort, and any time you save up is going to come in handy on test day. Good luck out there. You've got this.